Play ball! Those words aren't being shouted yet, but on this Newsmakers, we get into the spirit of baseball season as we celebrate the Cardinals Caravan. Welcome, I'm Lisa Oligas. The MSSU Department of Communication welcomed the Cardinals Caravan to campus January 18th. And this week, we feature one-on-one interviews with players, a Cardinals alum, and special announcers who were all greeted by MSSU President Dr. Dean Van Galen as they exited the Caravan bus. The day included a Q&A session where the team fielded questions from fans. Kids later lined up for autographs. But before that, KGCS staff and communication department students connected with Cardinals, like Matthew Liberatore, who reflects on playing with best buddy Nolan Gorman. Here's Dimitri Lloyd with that interview.
What are some of those pregame rituals, if you have any, or maybe mid-game and maybe some for the recovery as well?
Yeah, most of it is homework, scouting report type of stuff, studying the hitters, and then just getting my body ready. I'm not super superstitious. I don't have any like quirky things that I do, but just trying to get ready physically as much as I can.
Absolutely, and you mentioned the training part of it. So what does the training look like in season, and then what does it look like after season?
In season, it's definitely a lot lighter, a lot more maintenance work, a lot more running, conditioning type of stuff. In the off season, you can lift a little heavier, try to put on some weight, some muscle, push yourself a little more and be sore.
And who is your all-time great pitcher that you think is either the greatest or should be arguably the greatest?
Probably the greatest is Nolan Ryan. My personal favorite is Sandy Koufax. I wore 32 for him for a long time. We're both left-handed, both have big curveballs, so he was someone I modeled a lot of my stuff after.
What would be one of the pitches that you could take from him that you could either master or maybe a brand new pitch that you haven't brought out yet that you could use?
I'd say the curveball. He had one of the best left-handed curveballs of all time, similar to Clayton Kershaw, and I throw a relatively similar curveball also. So.
Absolutely. And when you're on the mound, do you prefer gum, sunflower seeds, maybe something else, or nothing at all?
Nothing. I don't want any distractions or anything to fall out of my mouth while I'm throwing, so I just go out there with nothing.
Absolutely. And what are your individual goals for the season and for the organization as well?
I think my individual goals probably align with the team goals. I want to win. I don't care if I'm in the bullpen or if I'm starting. I want to contribute. I want to be a part of the team, and I want to see us make a playoff run this year.
Absolutely. And how does it feel to be able to play with one of your best friends from a childhood?
It feels like a dream. If you showed me the script that said that this is how our life would turn out when we were 10 years old, we'd have thought you were joking. And here we are playing for the same big league team, going to work together every day.
Absolutely. And what's one of the hitters that has been your favorite to strike out, and then who's on your bucket list to strike out?
I'd say two that I have struck out, probably Bryce Harper and Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if it gets much better than that. On the bucket list, maybe I got Aaron Judge. I got to face him this year, threw him one pitch. He hit a single off me, so I'd like a little rematch against him.
Absolutely. And what would be the pitch that maybe you get him with?
Ooh, I think it depends on the situation. I'd like to get him with a fastball. I think that's always fun, but whatever gets him out, I'd be happy with.
Absolutely. And like I said, organizational goals, and say you guys make it to the postseason, how does the training or maybe the intensity ramp up, whether it's for yourself or for the players around you?
I think that's what we train all off season for. Everybody goes home, especially after the season that we had last year, with a bit of a sour taste in their mouth, wanting to make sure that doesn't happen again. And we all show up really hungry for playoffs. So when we get there, I think everybody's ready for it because we've been envisioning it for the last 7 months.
Absolutely. My name is Dimitri Lloyd, and it's been an honor. Thank you, Lions and Cardinals fans, and have a great day.
Thank you.
I'm Lisa Oligas, and we're here with Andre Palante, a pitcher with the St. Louis Cardinals of the Cardinals Caravan. Welcome to Joplin.
Hi, how's it going? I'm happy to be here.
Well, so you are a pitcher. Tell us, what is your favorite pitch?
I like to throw a fastball. I like to throw it as hard as I can, and it's just one of the things I like to do.
So when you get out there and say you have a batting lineup of some of the greats, you've played in a lot of parts of the country, is there a certain stadium that's harder to pitch in than others?
Yeah, some of the playoff teams, usually when they're got a good team and the fans are invested and they're showing up every single night after night after night, and really when you're ever playing a playoff team, those are usually the games where you feel the opposing presence.
So as a starter pitcher, how do you train in the off season? This is the off season. How do you get ready? Because you have to have endurance, right?
Yeah, I do a bunch of endurance focused training. So a lot of time on the bike, a lot of time doing long distance running and stuff like that, some swimming, stuff like that. So you really just try and build up so you can handle, Some pitchers throw over 200 innings a year. That's 200 innings times 15. If you throw 15 pitches an inning, that's a lot of pitches. So you got to be ready to handle that workload.
Yeah. Do you ever worry about needing surgeries and having to keep your arm in shape? What's the fear for a pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, there's always something that's in the back of your mind that can happen to you, but you can't obsess about it. All you can do is prepare yourself the best way possible to prevent that from happening. So it's a lot of arm care, it's a lot of work in the off season, working on the muscles that otherwise would be neglected, and really just making sure you're sleeping good, eating right, and doing the things you can.
We have a lot of baseball fans here. A lot of them are players themselves. What advice would you give to some young player?
The best way to get good at baseball is to play baseball. So play as much as you can, any way you can. You can do a bunch of stuff outside of the field too, but the best way to do it is on the field.
Was there a certain moment in your life that you said, I think I can make it in the big leagues?
For me, it was always a step-by-step process. It was like, 8th grade, I'm like, I can play in high school. High school, I could play in college. College, I could play in the minor leagues. And you just keep making those step-by-step progression. You can't be like, I know I'm going to make it 10 years from now. That's hard to have that confidence and to feel like that. But you can take the next step, and all you can focus on is the next step.
What goals do you have for this season?
Really be healthy the whole year, make sure I can make every single start, and be ready every single one. There's 30, if I'm available for all 32 starts, then my goal is to take everyone as seriously as I can and be as prepared as possible.
So you talked about being on the Caravan before. What is it like being on the Cardinals Caravan? What do you enjoy about it?
I mean, it's just a really good time getting to meet the staff behind the scenes within the Cardinals, ticket sales and marketing, getting to know people like that, and getting to meet all the fans around. I know someone told me once that the average commute to a Cardinals game is somewhere between 2.5 hours to 4 hours. So people come from all over the place to St. Louis to come watch a game, and the least we can do is go out there and make one trip to them and get to meet these people that give so much to come out to our games, and really just to see the appreciation from the people when you come out there, and so that's just awesome to be part of.
Yeah. When you got that call to be in the show, what went through your head?
Yeah, I mean, it was, for my situation, a little different. We were showing up to spring training, and it was 6:30 in the morning, and our GM was actually working out, and I'm like, he asked me, how's it going, Andre? I'm like, I don't know, I just got a good feeling today. He's like, I think you're going to like today. And then maybe about 30 minutes, an hour later, they pulled me into the office, Ollie did, and he told me I was going to break camp with the team. And it was like, immediately called my dad. I'm like, this is what I've been working so hard for 20 years, and it was so awesome to get that experience.
What is it like to play for the Cardinals? Because they're a different kind of team.
They definitely are. I think I said it earlier in one of our stops before. I'm like, the best part about playing with the Cardinals is the guys that we keep around. Having like the alumni come around, having Willie McGee in the dugout with you. I mean, that's so important, I think. It's something that a lot of teams don't do, and having those guys around who've done it before and who do it the right way, it's so important to us. It gives us such good examples of how to act and how to be professional and how to carry ourselves on the field and give us good guidance. That's my favorite part about being a Cardinal.
Excellent. Andre, thank you for joining us and being here, and have a great season.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Haley Smith, and today I have Matt Koproniak. All right, Matt. Reflecting on your journey from Trinity College to professional baseball, what has been the most significant challenges and rewards?
Most significant challenges have probably been just sort of transitioning into professional baseball, sort of knowing what that entails and trying to become a better baseball player day in, day out. But the rewards are you get to still continue to play the game you loved growing up, and yeah, that's about it for that one.
And in 2024, you had a standout season with the Memphis Redbirds, hitting 309 with 20 home runs. What factors contributed to your success that season?
I think just being consistent day in, day out, doing the same things in the batting cage, and then just not trying to have a good mentality going to each game as well, and sort of just not getting down with the lows or too high with the highs. So, yeah.
As someone born in London and playing for the Great Britain national baseball team in the 2024 World Baseball Classic, what your international background, how does that influence your approach to the game?
Yeah, I was born there, wasn't raised there, but I guess from a standpoint, it got me into the WBC and being able to play with all those guys from the Great Britain team and seeing where they came from, and it was just a great experience, and helped me out with connecting with more people and getting to play some high-level baseball as well.
During your time with the Springfield Cardinals, you hit for the circle in August of 2022. Can you share your memories and achievements of that moment?
Yeah, it was just a day in August about 2 years ago. I was in Amarillo and had a really good series. I was really hot going into that, or got really hot going into that series, and was able to knock off the triple. I hadn't had a triple yet that year, so I was able to get that. And then next day, Chandler Redmond hit the home run cycle, so it was pretty cool. Just two of us being able to do that was pretty cool. This was a lot harder, but yeah, that was just a great week for us.
The Cardinal Caravan offers a unique opportunity for you to meet fans outside of St. Louis. What do you enjoy most about meeting fans on the road, and how does that impact your perspective as a player?
Yeah, just being able to see the Cardinals fan base definitely motivates us, and this is my first Caravan as well, so just being able to finally get to see a lot more of the Cardinal fan base as well. I mean, I get to see them in spring training and then at the affiliates, but this is more of, I don't know, I guess a more personal experience with them, and it's not like before or after a game, so just being able to see people and talk with them as well.
Yes. What advice would you give to younger athletes who are playing in smaller programs like Trinity College and who aspire to play professional baseball?
Yeah, just keep working hard, getting after it day in, day out, and then just trying to have fun with it as well. Because at the end of the day, it's a sport, and if you can find ways in which you're having fun, and it can motivate you and keep you working hard as well.
What do you think of an event like this, the Cardinals Caravan, where you go to like different like universities and other places set up like this? How does that help you? Not just like, just for the experience of it, but just to realize, hey, how amazing is this fan base and stuff like that, but also for your team as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're traveling all around the state, and I know the other caravans are going to other states as well, and it's so great to see all these Cardinal fans and be able to reach out and meet with you guys and talk, and it's been a great experience so far.
Awesome. And how many wins do you guys think you're going to get this season?
That's tough. Yeah, I don't know if I can put a specific number on it, but I know we're going to try to win as many games as possible, and I know there's a lot of talent on this team, and I think it's going to be a successful year.
Yep, and hopefully make it all the way, huh?
Yep, that's the goal.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. This is Brian Kirkland signing out.
Brushes with greatness. We're taking a quick break from player interviews to show you some of the fan action at the Cardinals Caravan.
So I enjoyed meeting the players. We've gone twice before, so it was fun. I liked the asking questions, and I really enjoyed going up on the stage and meeting the players and getting stuff signed.
This is so fun. If you're a Cardinals fan, come here next year. Well, I got a lot of stuff signed. I got my ball signed and my card signed, and I got nuggied by Redbird. Yeah, you get to ask lots of questions, and all the players will answer them. We also learned about like the plays they've had over the year, and it was really cool.
It's always a fun time. It's a great time to get all the kids out here, enjoy meeting these players and being able to ask those questions so that they can feel like they're important. The kids have to feel like that they're loved by these athletes because they look up to them. So it's a very exciting time. Glad that the Joplin community, we have people from Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas. It's unbelievable how many people we have that come here, and we just hope that it continues to grow.
Well, baseball has always been my favorite sport and everything, so yeah, it has always been that way.
I liked meeting the players, and I liked actually seeing them with my eyes and actually getting to talk to him. I asked Kyle about his championship ring. He said he got that back in, I think, 2008. So yeah, that was a really cool experience.
I thought it was really good to get to know more about the players, and we got autographs. It was just a really fun experience.
It was cool, and I really liked it.
Well, I'm just a really big baseball fan, and it's a great opportunity to go meet some players. We're from Northwest Arkansas, so we made the drive up here. We do it every year, 3 years in a row.
I probably enjoyed the getting to learn more about the players and just to see the atmosphere of the Cardinal Nation was probably the best part.
I got a shirt. I signed it. Well, they signed it. And there we go. I just want you to know that you should always follow your dreams.
Welcome back. At the Cardinals Caravan, we also got the chance to interview some baseball greats. Cardinals alumnus Kyle McClellan and Golden Glove winner and Cardinals announcer Benji Molina. Here's Jordy Goss.
Hi, I'm Jordy Goss, and I'm with Benji Molina, who has an impressive record as a defensive catcher for the Angels, the Rangers, the Giants, and a coach for the St. Louis Cardinals. An impressive career with a span of over 25 years. Welcome to MSSU, Benji.
Thank you. Thank you. We love doing these things, talking to fans and talking to you guys, the young ones that are coming up. I'm super excited to be here.
So, as we're getting to know you a little bit better, can you tell us your background, your experience, your education, and what got you into Major League Baseball?
Wow. I'm from Puerto Rico. So I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I went to a junior college out of high school. Did not know a word of English, so I went to an ESL program, learned my English. After that, I went back to Puerto Rico, signed professional baseball. And ever since '93, I played until 2010. So 20 seasons involved in baseball. After that, I coached 2 years, in the major leagues. And then after that, this is my 10th year doing the Spanish radio for the Cardinals. So I'm a broadcaster now. That's just a little bit of my history.
And so, with your outstanding career, what was the key factor behind your success?
I think my parents are number one. My family was very supportive of me. Making it where we are. I have 2 other brothers that also were successful in baseball. So if it wasn't for my parents, for my uncles, for my aunts, my cousins, everybody put their little piece together to us to help us out. I think if without my mom, my dad, and all those guys, I think those are the key to success for us. My inspiration was my family. My inspiration was my brothers. So I wanted to make it so bad. I wanted to be the great example for them so they can follow me and probably have their own success, which they did. So, but that was my biggest inspiration was my family.
And so that was sort of like a driving factor to say, hey, I better keep, on my best behavior. I better do my best. That way I can set an example, correct?
Yeah, you always have people behind you. You always have either if you have a family or if you have friends, you have somebody behind you that's looking at you. You better just do your right thing and hustle and dedicate yourself and hard work, everything that you do. So when they see you, you might inspire many people behind you. So that's the way I felt.
And you won the World Series. You and your team won the World Series in 2010. How was that like for you?
I actually, we won in 2002 and 2010. So we have 2 of them. My brothers have 2 rings too. That experience was amazing because I was with my brother Jose too and the team. So we enjoyed that championship together. It's super special, super special. I love that year. That year was crazy cool. I enjoyed every single bit of it, and you never know when you're going to win a championship, so I try to enjoy it, and I did. 2002. People, we do so much for the community. We're always busy. That's a good part of these, being in a good platform, that we have a chance to use it, and this is no different. We go and help out as many kids as we can.
Nice. And one last question. What professional advice would you have for someone here at MSSU that might want to become a Major League Baseball player one day or just get in sports in general?
I say dedicate yourself, enjoy the ride, make sure that you dedicate and you hard work. You do the work so hard that and have about motivation being your family instead of material things. But just go at it, man. If you dream it, just go at it, and don't stop until you get it, that kind of thing, So dedicate yourself, work hard, and before you know it, you're up there.
We're here at the Cardinals Caravan with KMOX Radio Director Tom Ackerman, who basically runs the Cardinals Radio Network. Thank you for joining us. You have so much experience here. Welcome to Joplin.
Well, thank you very much, and I really love what's going on in this room right now. I, as a media school grad myself from Indiana University, to see so many people out here with the equipment, with the microphones, talking to our guys, very, very special to me. So I was looking forward to it because I remember it 2 years ago when we came here. We were in a different room. This is a great thing that you're doing.
Well, thank you for being here. And, you have done every possible job in media. You've been a reporter, an anchor, a host. Is there one interview that stood out?
That's a great question. Probably I've interviewed a lot of people affiliated with the Cardinals especially. And Albert Pujols is somebody that kind of stayed with me. And it's because of the example of developing a relationship with somebody. So Albert never forgot that I covered him when he was in the minors. And every time we do an interview, even today, he'll drop that in there somewhere. He'll say, you've known me since I was in the minor leagues, so when I say blah, blah, blah. So that is special. So every time we've been in a situation, whether he's won a championship or he's going through a tough time or he decided to retire or he's doing something for his foundation or, now he's becoming a manager in the Dominican Republic. It's been a great journey. And so I would say all of our visits stay with me very much. He's the greatest hitter I've ever seen. He's the greatest right-handed hitter of our generation. But even more than that, I've been able to get to know him as a person, and it really started through interviews. So again, I was covering him in the minors, and he took care of me, meaning when I was a young reporter with the Cardinals and he made it to the big leagues, he would seek me out. He'd be like, are we doing our interview? And so it was a way for him to tell me that he trusted me. And he also knew that I was going to ask the questions that needed to be asked. So that does stay with me. It really does.
So I was going to ask you for advice for students who are wanting to be in sports broadcasting. You kind of got your foot in the door. You did radio at college, and you went to KMOX on the scoreboard. So what kind of jobs should they be willing to take to get their foot in the door, and what advice would you give to young Cubs?
I really think that it comes down to getting your hands on the equipment and doing it and learning along the way, because there will be some, steps and some bumps in the road. So repetition and learning. Nobody just walks in and is great right away. You have to be able to also establish credibility with an audience. So there has to be some sort of longevity and staying power so that the audience keeps coming back to you, because every time they do, they learn something, or they liked the interview, or they're getting to know you as a person a little bit and trust. So no matter where you go, it's all about what can I do to create some staying power for myself in this place, whether it's Joplin or Kansas City or Springfield or Columbia or St. Louis, wherever it is. What can I do to be a great teammate and a great person to work with is probably the number one thing of all. There are a lot of people with talent, and a lot of people acquire talent along the way. But what you learn over time is the ones who succeed are the ones that people like working with. They understand that it's not about them. It's about the whole group. The person holding the camera, the person doing the editing, the person who is selling the sponsorships for the station. It's all a big group and a team. And when you become a great teammate, that's when you start to succeed, because everyone starts talking about you. They're like, well, I want to work with that person. I want to work with her. And that person starts to be great. So that would be my advice.
Hi, my name is Darren Zustiak, and representing for KGTS Media, and today I've got Kyle McClellan here today, and I've got a couple of questions for him. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
So one of the questions I have is, you were a 3-lettered star athlete, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. And in high school, I played multiple sports. I was football, baseball, basketball. As I got my way through, I got closer to my senior year. I started to narrow that down. Baseball was something I continued to excel at, and wanted, kind of fell in love with it more and more and more, and was the path that I ultimately chose. But definitely tried all of them to figure out what was kind of my niche, and thankfully I found it.
Cool. And when growing up playing baseball, was your goal ever to be a St. Louis Cardinal?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in St. Louis, so every kid that grows up in St. Louis, I think, has that dream, being in the backyard and playing for the St. Louis Cardinals, and so that was mine as well. Wanted to play Major League Baseball, but definitely wanted to play for the Cardinals, and was fortunate enough when I was in high school, got drafted by the Cardinals. Of all the teams out there, it just happened to be the Cardinals that drafted me, and got to make my way through the system. And I tell people all the time, my highlight of my career, the World Series was great and all that. But my debut, in St. Louis, in front of all my friends and family, it was the first time I ever pitched as a St. Louis Cardinal. Was on opening day in St. Louis, and that's a moment I'll never forget.
And so you said you were pitching on that day. Would you mind explaining more, what it felt that day? What did you do afterwards? Did you celebrate with everyone, have a good time?
Yeah, I mean, it was an out-of-body experience when I came in the game. You literally can't feel your body, and it took me a few pitches to kind of get under control. Matt Holliday was my first hitter I faced, and got him out. Had a 1-2-3 inning, got my first strike out of that game. There's a picture that Chris Lee of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch took after when I was leaving the field there. I struck out Brad Hopp to end the inning, and as I'm walking over, Yachty has the ball, and he's waiting for me at the baseline. And to come over, and he puts his arm around me, and he's smiling. I got my arm around him, and he's giving me the ball. And Chris Lee has that picture. He took that picture. I have it. I had Yachty sign it. I have it on a metal print, and Yachty signed it for me. It's in my office. But just such a great memory there. And then afterwards, I also remember sitting in the training room on the table after trying to take it all in. And Dr. Paletta walked in, who fixed my elbow for me in the minor leagues. And, just a lot of gratitude. It kind of hits you that, hey, if he doesn't do his job, I don't have a chance to be here. If my parents didn't do what they did for me, I don't have a chance to be here. All my friends, all my family, all my coaches and everything. So it kind of all hit me, I think, at that moment. I just realized my childhood dream, and there's so many people that had a part of it. And it's kind of a cool moment to be able to reflect with all those people in mind.
We certainly hope you have enjoyed getting to know the St. Louis Cardinals, and you'll get out to see some baseball this spring. Thanks for watching Newsmakers.